Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a lot of fallout to discuss today from the Indiana Fever exit interviews. And trust me when I say this, the WNBA is on fire right now. At the center of it all is Cathy Engelbert, and she has been absolutely cooked. I mean roasted, sautéed, grilled, pan-seared, deep-fried, rotisserie style. However you like your cooking, that's exactly what the media and the players have done to her. She's under more heat than ever, and those exit interviews only turn the flames higher. Let's start with Coach Stephanie White. She confirms something huge. Caitlin Clark will be playing 5-on-5 basketball somewhere this offseason. That opens up a lot of questions. Where will it be? Athletes unlimited runs a 5-on-5 setup. But the issue there is money. They don't have the budget to keep Caitlin Clark in their league for long. Overseas is where the real money is. We're talking over $1 million, easily. European teams have been paying that for years, and they'd line up to sign Caitlin. If I were Athletes Unlimited, I'd be calling every investor right now saying, look, we have one shot to land Caitlin Clark, and this is how we turn our league into something major. Because otherwise, she's gone, and she'll be making history overseas while U.S. leagues are left empty-handed. Here's the crazy part. Imagine Caitlin Clark playing in a random overseas arena with her game stream on YouTube and pulling in 500,000 viewers or more. That's not far-fetched. Fans are hungry to see her play, and they'll watch wherever she goes. Her fan base travels with her. That's just reality. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. There are rumblings that Caitlin herself might be considering starting an off-season league. How true is that? We don't know yet, but the pieces fit. LeBron James has already hinted at creating both a men's and women's league. And let's not forget, LeBron and Caitlin have a relationship, and both are tied to Nike. What does that mean? It means Nike could easily step in, back this new league, and suddenly you've got a basketball empire that directly challenges the WNBA. Think about the fallout. The WNBA, already under pressure and facing heavy criticism for how they've handled Caitlin Clark and other stars, would suddenly be competing with a rival league backed by one of the biggest sports brands on the planet. That's the type of disruption that could flip women's basketball upside down. So, as we break down these exit interviews, the big picture is clear. The players are speaking out, coaches are hinting at change, and the options on the table for Caitlin Clark are bigger than anything we've ever seen before in the WNBA. Cathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, is on the hot seat. The league is in the middle of the storm. And Caitlin Clark? She's sitting at the center of it all, holding the power. Clark even had some very telling words about Engelbert, saying, "We need great leadership at this time across all levels. This is the most important time in the league's history." And honestly, that says it all. Nafisa Collier also made her stance clear, revealing something truly eye-opening. She hadn't even heard back from Engelbert on a very personal matter she shared. Think about that. The commissioner didn't even respond to Nafisa, one of the league stars. Even worse, she hasn't picked up the phone to call Caitlin Clark, the single most popular and marketable superstar in all of women's sports right now. That's shocking. I'll be real with you. I don't even know how Cathy Engelbert still has a job at this point. It's hard to imagine the players moving forward with any trust in her leadership. And honestly, I don't see how they'll ever get a new CBA deal done with her still in charge. It feels like before any progress can happen, there must be real change at the very top. But you get the point. Christine Brennan even went on CNN to break down the fallout from all this, and then doubled down by sharing her reaction across Twitter as well.
But you get the point. Christine Brennan jumped on CNN to break down the fallout from all of this, and then she doubled down by sharing her reaction across her Twitter as well.
We have Christine Brennan with us. She's a CNN sports analyst and USA Today sports columnist, and she's also the author of On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution of Women's Sports. This clash oh my gosh, just bursting out into public view. Is Engelbert's job at risk here?
Absolutely. When you have players of this magnitude speaking out, and not only Collier, but then so many who followed up saying, yes, I agree with her, even into the playoff game last night, that almost all the big names, Caitlin Clark was silent, and obviously that's what she would want to do, and no comment from according to the Indiana Fever, but everyone else talking about Kathy Engelbert. She's lost the room, she's lost the league, she's lost the players, and this is chaos at the moment that they should be celebrating moving into the finals. Obviously, you're without Caitlin Clark mostly, but still good TV ratings. Instead, a league that has descended into absolute chaos and acrimony, yet also been a very not surprising at all. As you said, I've written this book. You could see this coming a mile away. The league was completely unprepared to have the greatest thing that ever happened to it, Caitlin Clark, arrive. They've been fighting it for 2 years instead of embracing this incredible moment, and now here we are.
She flat out said if she had been on the floor for Game 5, you'd be looking at 4, maybe even 5 million viewers, no question about it. And honestly, I can't argue with that because I believe it. That's the kind of star power she brings to the game.
So, want me to spin a couple alternate punchier takes of this line so you can switch up the delivery in your script?
As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats, and we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost to injury. But it's a league that's at a flashpoint. According to Sportico, franchise valuations have soared. Players want more money and the CBA expires at the end of this month. This was a whole lot more than just a shot across the bow. The WNBA Finals begin this Friday, and we typically hear from Adam Silver on the eve of the NBA Finals. Kathy Engelbert has got to do more than say she's disheartened in a press release. The commissioner needs to explain how it is that a player, such as Collier, could ever come to feel this way and seemingly be speaking for all of her peers. I admire that Collier had the temerity to say what she did. The failure to respond, directly would be making another statement entirely.
But my goodness, when Scott Van Pelt makes it his one big thing on SportsCenter, his flagship segment, you know it's serious. Once it reaches that level,
the commissioner, that shit would have worked before Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese came into the WNBA. That shit you probably had that already blueprinted up to tell them every time they got the talking. These girls, those two girls, came into the WNBA retiring their parents. Do you think their $60,000 money do they give two shits about? They were in college as millionaires. They made more money in college than most of your teams combined. They should be grateful. No, you should be grateful that these two women was popping in the college basketball to bring their fandom to your league. You should be grateful. Their first day, you got private jets.
we can say whatever we want about Angel, but let's be real. She's made a ton of money off the court. And I get the point that was being made. She and some of her teammates have literally been able to retire their parents. That's powerful. But this is exactly what Kathy Engelbert is dealing with right now. And honestly, it shows just how out of touch she really is. Because if you've got your head in the clouds that much, that's grounds for immediate removal. No question about it. And I'd be shocked if NBA owners, especially the ones who also own WNBA teams, don't see it the same way. They know exactly what Caitlin Clark is worth. Adam Silver definitely knows. He was furious, flat out livid, that Caitlin wasn't selected for the Olympic team. That was a massive miss, one that could have elevated women's basketball on the biggest stage. Adam isn't dumb. He gets it. And here's the perfect example. The official WNBA Instagram has about 3.5 million followers. Caitlin Clark by herself has 3.6 million. She's got more followers than the entire league. That tells you everything you need to know. All right, let's get into it. Kathy Engelbert, it's over. It really is. It's a wrap. And I don't know how anyone can look at this situation and still find a way to defend her. Like, honestly, what are you defending? The leadership? The communication? The state of the league right now? For real, I don't get it. Now, let's talk about Nafisa Collier for a second. My one real issue in all of this, outside of the fact that she's backing a rival league, which I'm not thrilled about, is the timing. Because where was the same energy when Caitlin Clark was being targeted week after week? Where were the players standing up for her when things were clearly out of control? Everybody could see it. You didn't need to be an expert to realize Caitlin was taking cheap shots left and right. And here's the thing, I knew this was coming. You could feel it building. Too many games were getting ugly. Too many fouls didn't even look like basketball plays. Too much unnecessary drama on the court. It's been months of this, piling up little by little. And when that happens, eventually explodes. That's exactly what we're watching right now. The boiling point finally spilling over. The league let it fester. Instead of protecting their biggest star, instead of setting a clear tone from the top, the leadership stayed silent. Now, the trust is broken. The players are divided. And the commissioner is sitting in the middle of the storm with no answers. So yeah, Kathy Engelbert, it's a wrap. The league needed leadership, and all we got was silence. All right, Dave Portnoy absolutely destroyed the WNBA for 6 straight minutes. Now tell us what you all think about this. I'm out. Till next time, thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
As far as this particular story goes, I agree with everything they said. This is the dumbest league run by absolute morons. I've been saying it forever. The way they market the league, the way now they talk to the players, so I agree with, and Nafisa Collier, I love, and by all accounts has embraced Caitlin and all these new fans from the jump. I'm a fan of hers. I will say there's a little bit of this crazy double standard within the players, because I've seen a lot of the players be like, amen, she's speaking the truth. We need to be paid more. We need this. We need that. But these are the same players who have essentially tried to run Caitlin and her fans out of this league, including me. I don't make it about me, but if you recall, and I will make it about me, when I went to the Fever Chicago game, they launched an investigation saying I was doing monkey calls, which is the most outrageous thing in the history of the world, because of the Jumbotron, and a league that'll say Indiana Fever fans are bad, and we're doing investigations with no proof, no nothing, and have never stuck up for Caitlin. And you've had players be like, it's not about her, why she get all the attention? But then they don't complain when they get private planes from Caitlin in the new media deals. So it is interesting. Some of the players, you have to embrace all these new fans that are coming with the new players, whether that be Angel, whether you be that Caitlin, whether that's Paige, and they haven't done it. They've alienated an entirely new fan base, and it's almost like the old guard have consistently, we want the credit, we don't want to share in the pot. So Nafisa is correct, and she's been saying those things from the jump, but I find it curious, a lot of the players who don't seemingly